Hey guys, welcome back. Just finished my first actual complete system on this build. Parts and everything else holding me up, and finally got an entire system with all the parts to arrive and installed and bled and all that stuff. So thought I would go over that. Brakes. All right. Pretty basic. I went with the jigs setup here. It's got the outlets on either side, plugs on one side, so it can do, multiple applications. This is a disc setup. Yes, I'm missing a nut. Gotta find that. It went down here somewhere. But that's installed. Made sure I had the right hole for power brakes on my little clevis, on the brake pedal. And with this vehicle, I decided to go with the Biondo, the cheaper version of the line lock. And I went a little nuts with this gravel guard, just because the lines I'm using are kind of fragile. Well, they bend easy, I guess. So, got my lines down coming out of the master in the front here. We just got it going to the line lock solenoid, so I can lock that up. Pretty basic little setup. Runs down here to my T-block. T-block goes to, either side. And in the rear, because, I'm not using a factory setup, and I didn't want one of those valves in there. PV combination proportion. I didn't want one of those things because I don't like the little shuttle valve deal. So I got me an adjustable right down there. It's kind of hidden, but I can still get to it if I needed to make some adjustments on the rear. And the rear just kind of, maintenance loop. And coils down to that and then shoots on back. I'll get my big butt under here. I'll show you what I did. Got this from my buddy over at Ogre Speed Shop. Yeah, you should check him out. Had an idea on here that I had to borrow. And I say that because I might give it back. Where is it? Bear with me while I film upside down and backwards and sideways. Okay, so I used some of these 3/16 clamps. Ran my gravel guard back, 3/16 clamps. Just kind of went up and over my frame brace, rolling onto some stuff. This is where it gets weird. This is where normally it goes through here, and then cuts over to this little guy. You can see that from the factory. And then you got that hard line that comes down to the back of the axle, and it tees right there, and you got hard lines that go, this is a soft line. It goes into the hard lines on the differential, then out to the calipers. Well, what he did, and what I had to copy, was mounted a soft line, braided line, if you will. I got this little guy with a little maintenance kink in there, so I can move it a little bit. So you mount your caliper to a braided line, and then you mount that to the frame, and then you hard line into that. And then what that does is, if I need to take my rear end out, I just take calipers off and take my rear end out. I don't have to break into my brake system and re-bleed every time if I want to swap my ends or whatever, which I thought was neat. So this should be long enough. I got a 20-inch line on here, and I'll probably swivel this back around so it's not kinked like that. That was a joke when I said it's a maintenance kink. But yeah, that's going to sit in there nicely. I'm going to get my little, I already got one clips in there. Very tight. Anyway, came back to came back to a T. Teed off of that to this side, and then the other side I ran and did the same thing over here. Made me a little bracket, which captured my braided line, and then, went over here. That was a pretty cool deal. I'm running the S10 rear calipers, which inside here has a in-hat parking brake, which I love a whole lot more than the other setups. Yeah, as my neighbor pulled up, Caleb, I'm filming. Apparently everybody wants to know about this S10 rear brake setup. Everybody inside the house came out, and buddy Caleb down the street came over driving by, and I don't know, it's just really interesting. So let me get back to it. I'm running the S10 caliper. This is off of an S10 Blazer 2001. I have another video covering that. In-hat parking brake. Gives me disc brakes in the rear, which is great. And I'm running the LS1 brakes in the front, which is off 4th gen Camaro. So pretty decent budget brake upgrade, if you will. Will be plenty for what I have going on here, you know, just regular LS 5.3 liter for stage 1 of this build. Should be plenty for what I'm doing. If I need to go up a little better, I can get some EBC rotors or pads or some better friction material for the pads, but as it sits right here, I've used this setup quite a bit. And if you get aggressive with the pads and rotors, it gets pretty good. I'm not where I need to do that yet. So these factory rotors, which I'm just kind of using for mock-up, probably last me till I get any serious power out of this. So that's my brake setup. If you have any questions, let me know. And as I get each other's system up, I'll go through and walk around and kind of cover what I did with parts and stuff, in case you guys are following along and trying to do the same thing I'm doing. So thanks for watching. Hanging out for the next one.